This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 393 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is sponsored by Kentucky Performance Products. Visit them at kppusa.com. Hi everybody, Glenn the Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and you're listening to Horse Tip Daily. Well, today we have back with us everybody's favorite Max Corcoran, who is the groom for Venter Karen O'Connor. And she shares with us grooming tips and practical tips and on all kinds of things. She's also co-host over on the Eventing radio show at times, and we'd like to bring the tips to you from there. This is taken off of Eventing Radio Show, episode number 116. You can hear the rest of that show by going to eventingradio.com. And on that show was Karen and David O'Connor. Her employers were on that show. So if you want to hear the rest of that, just hop on over there. And we'll be right back with Max after we speak with our friends at Kentucky Performance Products. Regular listeners to the show know that we love Kentucky Performance Products. And that's an easy thing to do because Kentucky Performance Products stand behind their products and they believe in them. Your complete satisfaction is guaranteed. If you are unsatisfied with any of their products, they will gladly refund your money. Does your horse or pony get fat on air alone? Is he living in a dry lot or turned out with a muzzle? Can't feed him more than a handful of grain and some hay? Then you need Microphase. Microphase is a great way to ensure your horse or pony gets all of the nutrients he needs to stay healthy without adding calories to his diet. Microphase contains the vitamins and trace minerals not found in grass or hay, and your horse will eat it right out of your hand. You can learn more about Microphase and all of the products from Kentucky Performance Products by visiting kppusa.com. That's kppusa.com. Check out Microphase.
Well, Max, I think you've got an interesting tip for everybody this week, because it is the beginning of the season, but you need to look at the whole year, don't you?
For sure. I think we all sort of get caught up in the now. So my tip of the week would be to, now that it's January or at the end of January and coming into February, and it's a lot of months to your goal. And I think the big thing we all have to do is to set our goals and set our sights, whether short-term goals and long-term goals. And, maybe your long-term goal is to, compete at Rolex in the spring, or it's to get to the American Eventing Championships, or it's to jump your next show jumping around clear. But setting short-term goals and setting long-term goals are so important right now. It keeps us focused. It keeps us hungry. It keeps us motivated to carry on with whatever it is. And no goal is too small, definitely. So set little goals and set big goals and reach the goals and then get excited about reaching those goals. I think a lot of people in this country right now in the U.S. are stuck in an indoor. So make that goal something that it's going to keep you until the snow melts and you can get back outside again, and then carry on from there. It's a long season, it's a long year, and make it a good one.
Now, when you say making goals for the year, do you look at the year in quarters, in quarter every 4 months, as some people do, or do you set yourself like daily, weekly, monthly goals? How do you develop your timeline for goals, Max?
We set our goals first by long-term goals, and then you go back and say, okay, now how am I going to get to that goal? Even if it's a competition, say you want to get to the American Eventing Championships, that's your long-term goal. Well, then your next set of goals is having to get qualified to the American Eventing Championships, and so you set those goals up. And then those goals, then you have other goals, which is how do I become competitive enough to qualify to get to the American Eventing Championships? That's to take a lesson a week. Okay, so you go back from that, and then maybe to practice for that lesson a week, you say I'm going to get a 28. I want to be able to sit the trot as well as I can, and so that's what you practice in between your lessons, and you set goals for yourself, even if it's just smaller goals that you want to do, and you want to get a better score, or even if it's jumping a show jumping round clean, or coming closest to optimum time on a cross country course, or anything to that effect. It's just your smaller goals along the way. So you set a longer goals and then your shorter goals to get to that longer goal, or and on like that. If it's to get to the training 3-day Aware DACA in October, how are you going to get there? You have to do 4 trainings. So when are you going to do that? Are you already going training? And you can do that. And maybe your goals last until, through the fall of 2012. So you just sort of make your goals and work backwards from that, and then get there from there.
Thanks again to Chris and Max for allowing us to borrow their tips from the Eventing Radio Show. As I said, that's Eventing Radio Show, episode number 116. If you'd like to listen to the rest of it, at eventingradio.com. Well, that's it for today. We'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Remember that you can listen to all the shows in the Horse Radio Network at horseradionetwork.com.
The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.